So welcome to Momentum's first general interest meeting, the BC's Rube Goldberg Machine Club. For anybody who doesn't know, Rube Goldberg machine is essentially an overly complex machine that's designed to do a very simple task typically. And so you might have seen like different examples of this or cartoons of it and things drawn like that. And we'll have some examples in videos later on in this little PowerPoint presentation. But yeah, so up front, I'll go ahead and apologize on our delay of getting started with this interest meeting. It's been a busy semester for all of us, but never a better time to start than now. So we're going to make the most of it we can, and we got big plans for next semester. So let's get started with introducing the executive team or the e-board of Momentum. So we'll start with myself. I'm Ryan Kitts. I'm a sophomore. I am the vice president of Momentum this year / co-president. I'm a theater and comp sci double major. My pronouns are he, him, his. And the activities I'm involved in, aside from Momentum, of course, would be the University Chorale and the Chamber Singers of Boston College, as well as different theater productions across campus and things like that, as a theater major, of course. Fun fact about myself, I could put both legs behind my head at the same time. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm sitting in a chair and I would probably break it. But there we go. That is me. So next we'll move on. Matt Vaccaro is not with us right now. He is the president / co-president of Momentum this year. He is a sophomore. I believe he's in the midst of changing majors, but right now I believe he's an econ major. And yeah, if you come to more meetings, you'll get to meet him and talk to him, and he'll introduce himself to you, and that'll be great. We'll move on to Tian Shu, and I'll let you introduce yourself from here.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Tian Shu. I am the treasurer of our beloved Momentum Club. So right now we have $200 something in our bank account, so we can buy a lot of cool stuff if you have any plan to buy some, like hardwood, or also we can purchase some like software lessons like SolidWorks or CAD, so all of you guys can do some remote, designing. And then we have access to laser cutter on campus as well as the 3D printer. So when you send all of your design up to us, and then we're going to go to the 3D printer and then just print it on our end. So it's going to be very awesome. I'm a BA Math, BS Computer Science. Just changed my econ major to a minor now, and my pronouns are him, he, him, his. So surprise again, I'm also the Momentum on the Momentum e-board. And also I'm a baritone in liturgy art group. I do a little bit of dancing, full swing. And also, even though I'm not a physics student, I'm in the Society of Physics Student Club as an underclassman representative. So my fun fact is that last 2 summers ago, I got misdiagnosed with a really rare heart like disease. But in the end, I'm fine now. I'm healthy, I'm happy. But like it was like once in like 1 million, one or 2 in 1 million case every year. So I was kind of kind of happy in that case. But I'm also happier that I didn't get that disease. So yep, it's a fun fact. So
that was a pretty fun fact. I must say. All right, so here we have a little history of Momentum. So Momentum is a very new club. It was founded just last year by Krista Rose, and this is the second or first and a half since we lost a semester last semester year. Momentum's been around. So in our history, we've managed to make 2 machines. One of them was for last year's the activities fair on Stokes Lawn. We have a little video of that in action.
Do we have the audio, or
was the audio not playing?
Yeah, the audio is not playing.
Oh, well, the audio is playing on my end. Apologies for that. It's just music. It's not like this was not an auditory experience, mind you. But yeah, that was the basic one where you close the laptop, it pulls a string, releases a bunch of mechanisms, and ultimately drops a couple of candies in the little bowl that you got to take. So that was a very fun one. The mechanism to start it was based off of like signing up for the actual mailing list and closing it. So that was just like an example of some of them. Our first major machine was for Halloween last year. Oops, I misclicked. Uh, um, so the audio might not work, but again, it's not really an auditory video, so you could just see kind of what we did here. We could go into more detail later on this, but yeah. So it starts with knocking this little knocker, and then it sets off the rest of this. And then it goes down. And there we go. And there it is. And the whole gimmick of that machine was like either in the pachinko board, either it would go to trick or treat, and depending on which one you got, it was like bats or candy, which one it got. So that was a fun machine. Later on, once we're done with kind of general info and such, we could kind of delve in more into that. If John, you're interested to kind of see how it works and how he put it together. But yeah, those are just two examples. We had another big plan for Earth Day last year during Arts Fest, but we did not get the chance to build that, unfortunately. However, we still have the plans for it. So this year, maybe for Earth Day, we put that together. But yeah, it's a lot of creativity and freedom that you get to have in designing these machines. So now we're going to talk about the tools and materials that we kind of work with during this club. So really we don't have like we could kind of throw together what we want here. So our biggest resource for building these actual machines is mostly what we have, what we can gather. So leftover supplies from last semester when we were building machines, we have marbles, dominoes, ping pong balls, dowels, plywood, we have a lot of cardboard, things like that. You kind of gather all that together, and using those things you create these chain reactions. So you could be very creative with what you use and how you use them. So it's very, in addition to being almost like a physics and engineer club, there's a lot of creativity involved in how you use these things. Occasionally, we did take trips last year to different junkyards if we needed a couple extra supplies, just to gather different things that we could use in our builds. Um, this year, with current world events, that might be a little different. Our junkyard trips might not occur, but we'll see what we can make happen. That's just where we get some of our supplies. We also have different like building supplies as well at our disposal. So things like X-Acto knives, trimmers, painters. Tianchu was talking about this earlier. In fact, if you want to go in, if you have any more detail on things we want to use, you're free to jump in. But
Yeah, so we have the in the art department we have the permission to use the 3D printer and laser cut it, and then they provide all the like acrylics, cardboard, hardwood, all like all kind of stuff, and then they're with unlimited use. So anytime we for laser cutter, we just need to send them like an outline of our design, and then we can have that ready like right there. So if you guys want to have any great ideas, you can send the design in the PDF format or some other format to us, Ryan or me or Matt, and then we can just go there and then do the cut it out for you guys. And after that, we can help you guys put pieces together into this awesome Rube Goldberg machine. And 3D printer, I haven't used that yet, but it's like I forgot what type of 3D printer it is, but it's pretty awesome. It's very brand new. Not like a whole scale one. Not like we cannot do some like metal stuff, print 3D print metal. But I heard in the new Schiller Center they're gonna have this like 3D metal 3D printer. So that's gonna be some awesome stuff we will do in the coming years.
yeah.
So yeah, then that's gonna expand our repertoire, and then we can build more stuff with 3D printer and a laser cutter.
Absolutely, yeah. And also, we highly encourage on this last bullet point, if you have just like cardboard or plastic bottles or things that you think might be useful in building one of our machines, we highly encourage you to save them, to keep them, and to bring them to different meetings and show them off and say, oh, well, I think we could do this with that and the other thing. And we can incorporate those smaller machines into the greater chain reaction, because it's very much about putting smaller things together to create this bigger spectacle. So
Yep.
highly encourage saving what you have, and also Tianchu just went over some of the other things at your disposal. So now we have, where's all this going to be happening? Well, of course, with our current world events this year, we'll probably have our general brainstorming and meeting sessions online. We'll go in a little bit we have some details later on in a later slide about the general workflow of how Momentum works in terms of brainstorming versus building. But for now, what you need to know is the general brainstorming meetings and idea creation for the designing of the machine will probably be online through Zoom, where we'll collaborate here and create plans for what we want to do with the machine. When we begin to build the machines, that's more in person, obviously, because we're making a physical creation. So just to try and be socially distant, depending on how many people are working on a particular machine at a particular time, we'll probably try and divide up the tasks between smaller groups, just to build smaller parts of the machine to, again, those smaller parts will be put together to create the bigger spectacle. And then once we're ready to put it all together, we'll create a nice event out of it, have a recording of it, and put it up on YouTube. And again, there's more info later on. As for storage, we do have an OSI storage locker in Kearney. Typically, we use it to store like building materials, things like that, basically whatever we can fit. So it's just something to keep in mind, is that that's like a place where we could kind of put some common things that we may need in and out, and just exchange things, even contactless, which is good as well. So yeah, that's for space. So here, like I was saying, the general meeting format. So essentially there's two kind of modes we operate in. The first mode we operate in, like we said, is brainstorming, is idea creation. We come up with a plan, a blueprint, and then after that, we transition into building, where, like we said, we're gonna split up into different parts and work on different tasks to put the whole thing together. So as for the brainstorming meetings, how they'll essentially go is we'll start off typically with a video of a machine, a random Rube Goldberg machine we found on YouTube, just to kind of get some inspiration, some like ideas flow in, see what we can kind of like and dislike about a certain machine and what we can incorporate into our own plans. Then we'll talk about just different materials and ideas that anybody who wants to participate in the meeting can feel free to show or tell us or share. And we'll absolutely look at all of these ideas, incorporate as many of them as we can into the machine. We're very much encouraging a lot of participation on everybody here, because everybody should have a say in this final project that we're creating together.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything to add,
for the-
Jianshu, please?
Oh yeah.
If you want to add, please.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, I want to add some things. And then when we are like brainstorming this, there's some really good stuff that like don't hesitate to say anything. Like this could work, this could not work, but like once you say it, we can decide how are we going to implement that. But if you don't say it, then no one else knows. So don't be afraid. Say whatever like awesome ideas that you have in your mind, and then after that we can try a lot of things and decide which is feasible, and then at our time frame, and also the amount of money we have. And also for us from the treasurer point of view, it's pretty flexible. And this year, because we don't have a lot of things going on like pizza party or something, so we do have a lot of money that we can allocate to buying materials, or getting stuff that we need to build this spectacle machine. And over here, what we have is we have a couple Arduinos. We have one Raspberry Pi, and then some other like transistor resistors, and then some DC stepper motors and stuff. So we do have a lot of components in hand. And then if we don't, there's also some money to buy the things we need. So yeah, the only limitation is our imagination.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to get creative, because we have a lot of different ways that we can make some of these ideas happen. And the more innovative we are and creative we are with these ideas, the better the machine's going to turn out in the long haul. It's a collaboration between everybody involved. So be proactive. We absolutely encourage that 100%. And it's not a strict, these brainstorming meetings, they're not very strict. It's about an hour. If you need to leave early or come later, that's totally understandable. No strict cutoff time, but we'll spend about an hour talking about ideas. You don't need to come to every single meeting. It's very open. We're not strict about being there every single meeting. Come when you can. The same goes for the building. However much time you can help to put this building together, we absolutely encourage, but there's no strict requirements for what you need to do and what you don't need to do. If you want to be involved, you can be involved as much as you want or as little as you want. So next, this is the transitioning to the building of the machine. So we talked about how we start with the brainstorming session, then we set a plan for the machine. We start to split up into smaller groups to do smaller parts of the machine, so that at the end, when we create our big event for showcasing the machine, we take all these smaller parts and we put them together, maybe do a couple test runs of it, and then show it. What we'd normally do is, open it up to the public to kind of interact with it and see it and view it like an art exhibit, because we really are making art here in a STEM way. Um, uh, but yeah, so this year obviously it is different. We can't have big crowds coming to watch these exhibits or coming interacting with the machines. It's not safe yet. So our new venture this year is to create a Momentum YouTube channel. We think it's going to work really well, where we can take videos of these machines we create after finding a space to put them up, and then take a video of that and share that on YouTube, advertise that everywhere so people could see what we're doing, experience what we're doing, and we can still have a creative product to show people, even if we can't have people gathering to see it in action. And I think that way we'll have like a nice little archive of the different things we build and a way to share with however many people we want to see it. So it'll be a fun way to show kind of what we've been up to through this YouTube channel. And anything to add to that, Tianshu, or?
So we already have a YouTube channel, right? Where we post our past videos, or we haven't. Do we have that?
Do we? Was that we might have a YouTube channel. See, the thing is, it's not very active right now, but we might have a YouTube channel, which might have been where those videos came from. If we do have a YouTube channel, that's going to become a lot more active. If we don't, we're going to make one. The
That's
point
true,
is there
yeah.
will be a YouTube channel.
Yeah, we'll have some YouTube channel. Yeah, we'll have a YouTube channel, and then we're gonna talk to the Heights or something to newspapers. And when we finish, like we put in so much time, so much energy into this awesome Rube Goldberg machine, and then we're gonna definitely get this news out there, and then let everybody know that we have this club, this awesome club on campus, and we are doing these great things.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's definitely exciting. It's a new kind of path we're taking, more accessibility to what we're doing and more visibility, which I think will be ultimately a good thing for the club. And then when we can get back to a more normal state of affairs, we can start doing regular exhibits, live exhibits again. But I think the YouTube channel would be a good thing to keep moving forward for that archival and sharing and accessibility purposes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how will we start? So this is more for an idea that we were thinking about to get started this semester, since obviously the semester is coming to a close rapidly. What we're thinking of doing is mostly making plans for next semester, because we want to make a big machine by the end of next semester, or maybe a couple if we have the time. So for right now, if anybody is interested in participating, then whenever you have the chance, feel free to try and create a short, it could be like short, just a couple seconds long video of some sort of chain reaction you could create, just as like an idea or an inspiration or a starting point. It could be as simple as like having a phone on a shelf and knocking it down onto the floor. It could be very simple machines, or it could be as complex as you want if you want to make something a little more in depth. So create those videos if you have the chance and want to. Send them to us. We have our email, our Momentum email, shown at the end of this PowerPoint, so we'll share that with you guys so you have access to it. But yeah, make that video, share it with Momentum, then we'll look at these videos at the beginning of our meetings and things like that, just as more inspiration and brain fuel for what we can incorporate into this bigger project. And it's just a way to kind of get started actually building something, making something, instead of just kind of waiting around and thinking about it. It's a lot more fun to be actively making something with your hands and seeing a finished product, instead of always just talking theory,
Absolutely. And then for sure, I'm gonna send out my video in. I already know what to send out because I still remember at like I think second grade or third grade, I was playing with these like mini type of Rube Goldberg. I had my parents bought me some domino before, so I was like making all these domino with some balls and some things I can find in my house, and then I made like a really cool, I would say like pretty innovative, creative a machine, Rube Goldberg machine. I'll find it on my hard drive and I'll send it to you. Send to all of you guys, share with all of you guys next meeting. And yeah, so send out some videos that you had with like chain reactions, anything as complex or as simple as you want. So yeah. we'll
It's
share.
just all about playing. I think the first Rube Goldberg machine I made was just with some Legos that I did for a little video a couple of years ago. I don't think I have the video anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, it's just have fun with it. It's just a good way to kind of be active, make something, kind of experiment with what things you can do, and then we can use those as a baseline for what we want to do in the future. So absolutely feel free to participate. So what's next? So let's get started. Let's get inventing.
Game ending.
That's all the info. So any questions, comments, or concerns? John, we'll ask you for your questions, comments, or concerns if you're here, so you could actually ask them. But for those of you watching on the recorded video, reach out to momentumclubbc@gmail.com. That's our email for any questions you have, or to send in these videos for your simple couple second videos for machines. And that's going to be our main contact point for Momentum itself. You could also always reach out to our individual emails if you want to get in touch with one of us. We could give those to you like later on or something, or you could just figure it out. I mean, kits are at bc.edu. It's pretty universal. But
And
yeah.
also, we have a group meet for like last year's Momentum Club, so we can once you express your interest in building with us, like if you do it remotely, you can still participate in this club because you can send out your like 3D like design, and then we can just print it out for you. And then that's awesome. You're doing like maybe 100 kilometers away from home and from here from campus, but your invention, your idea is realized on campus, and then like everybody else, the student here can see it. So yeah, we can do group chat.
Yeah,
Later.
absolutely. There are ways to be involved even if you're not on campus next semester or this semester like myself. So yeah, absolutely feel free to reach out. So yeah, that's our presentation. John, do you have any questions or comments or concerns?
Yeah, I can start, I guess. This has been really fantastic. I love like the energy and it's been really cool. I wanted to ask about the brainstorming a bit because
Yeah.
you guys seem really collaborative. Like I was initially gonna ask, like, does the e-board decide like what the end goal is going to be? And then everyone brainstorms on top of that. Like you mentioned Earth Day. Like if the e-board says we're gonna make something for Earth Day, that's the deadline. Does everyone like does all the other club members kind of brainstorm around that? Or is it like, super collaborative from the beginning?
Yeah, it is super collaborative from the beginning. Last year we had our idea for Earth Day just because it was like a good time in terms of our time frame. But absolutely, it's like we could talk about what kind of machines we want to make for it. Like, oh, we want to make a machine for this holiday to celebrate this thing, or just like this is the date we want to do it. We do try and together figure out some sort of deadline that we can meet, just so we can like make sure we have an end goal by then. But like even the end goals and stuff, we talk about those in our brainstorming meetings. What do we want the machine to do? And then we'll talk about the things we want it to do. We'll talk about the ideas of how we want it to work. So the e-board, what we kind of do is try and facilitate that conversation and that collaboration, but we're by no means the final say in the designs of the machine. Everybody can contribute, share their thoughts. Maybe we'll even have like votes or polls to see majority of what kind of we are feeling might be good. So we're really just facilitators of that collaboration.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody has like get your own input into this machine because it's not about only the e-board, but about everyone in this club. So yeah, everyone has a say, and then when we can all talk together about like how feasible each plan is it, and we can like add some part, take out some parts, and in the end we can make like reach a goal, a great design. Yeah. And then by someday. For example, last time when we did Halloween, we wanted to do it on the like finish it on the Halloween date. So, and then if we wanna, sometimes we can be flexible the deadline, but like for these kind of events, it'll be great if we can have like something done on the date of the event, like Halloween or Christmas or
yeah. The deadlines are mostly about kind of like setting a goal for ourselves to make sure we're always progressing towards that goal and make sure we can have a completed, fully realized, finished product. But those deadlines can also change and shift depending on how efficiently the group is working together, or how much time people want to put in, or how quickly and efficiently we can make machines. So like if we can make 2 a semester, we can absolutely do that and would be happy to do that. But it's really it is dependent on the participation and the people, the members of the club. So it's not hard set in stone things that only the e-board decides. It's we converse, we talk about it, we see what we can make work and what we can't make work.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. That's it. Any other questions you could think of off the top of your head, John, or should we wrap up the video recorded part at least?
You can wrap it up.
All right. So yeah, for everybody watching on the YouTube channel, thanks for showing interest in Momentum. Thanks for coming and supporting the club. Again, the email is on screen right now. If you have any questions or concerns, we're happy to reach out. And yeah, we hope to see you at more meetings to come, and we hope to start building with you real soon. So thanks for watching. See you soon.